Hi, my name is Melanie, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Clever Cutter 2-in-1 knife and cutting board. I did want to show you how I received this product in the mail. When I opened the packaging, this is exactly what the package looked like. And if you can see, there's no tape anywhere. So the packaging was completely falling apart. There's no company name, no information whatsoever about the manufacturer, the product, and then it was in bubble wrap, which is great, but the instructions that come with this product were actually scrunched like this in the packaging it was shipped in. Not the best first impression, in my opinion, but let's not judge the product by the packaging. So I just wanted to point out some features of the Clever Cutter. It comes with a wall-mounted storage system. So let me just turn it so you can see. It's just attachable with sticky tape, so it should come off relatively easily. And then the Clever Cutter just goes in like so for easy storage. It should also be noted that it is dishwasher safe. I'm not someone that uses their dishwasher, but I know 99% of the world does, so I know that is a much wanted feature by many. Okay, so I'm going to undo the safety. And I'm going to show you, because it's actually a two-piece, because it's a knife and cutting board in one. So don't ever point a knife at you, but I need to do this to show you. You pull it apart so the spring comes out, and then the knife part pulls out quite easily. Okay? And this is important because vegetables such as peppers are way too big to cut with just the Clever Cutter together. So what I just did to get the spring back, to put it back together, is I had to push it together as much as possible. So let's go ahead and start the product testing. I do want to note that it is quite comfortable in the hand, and I've just released the safety. So I'm going to start with the sprouts, which I'm pretty sure it's going to have no problems with. So it seems that the knife is quite sharp and quite capable of cutting through things like that. It's moving the product off of the cutting board, which does make it easy to continuously cut. You don't get backlogged, for lack of a better word. So then let's move on to lettuce. And it does seem, because it's got the sprouts on it, it seems to be getting stuck a little bit. It looks like I'm going to need to rinse this off in order to get the best results. So I just rinsed it off with cold water, and see how the cutting continues. Still doesn't cut clear through the lettuce, and it's definitely not removing the product off the cutting board. I don't know if the camera shows this clearly, but I'm actually doing quite a bit of the pulling when it comes to the lettuce. So it does not do so well on lettuce. So now let us move on to the carrot. Cutting this very, very easily, I'm assuming, because it's a hard vegetable. Does very different thicknesses. All right, so now I've gone ahead again and rinsed the Clever Cutter, and I'm moving on to the asparagus. I like that it can do more than one asparagus at a time. That's definitely a benefit. So now let us move on to the radish. I picked this one in particular because one of my concerns about this product is cutting small products and feeling safe doing so. Again, it's cutting the hard product quite well. It's cutting it very thin, which is nice. I am one of those people that like very small, very thin vegetables in my salad, but I'm at this point now and I don't feel comfortable, unless I dig my fingernails in, I don't really feel comfortable cutting any further than this. So I'm gonna stop right there because I don't feel comfortable. If you're not comfortable, don't do it. So let's move on to the cucumber. Again, a hard vegetable, so it's doing it quite well. Again, paper thin, as you see. It's removing it off the cutting board, so that's good. See, I caught my nail there because I took it too small. So that's a safety concern. All right, let's go on to some vegetables and fruit that are a little bit softer. So this is the eggplant. And cutting quite well, but I'm doing a little bit of pulling right at the end of it. So it's not going straight through the skin. I'm kind of doing the last little pull. Okay, so now let's try a mushroom. Again, the size of this vegetable, I don't believe I'll be able to go quite to the end, but let's just wait and see. Looks like you have to go a little thicker here if you want slices. If you like thin mushrooms, they're kind of falling apart. And again, it doesn't feel like it's the safest. I'm going to cut one more here, and then I'm going to call it a day because I don't want a bloody finger. So that's the mushroom. Now let's move on to the tomato. Definitely fits comfortably within the width of the cutting board and the knife. Again, needs a little bit of assistance trying to get through the bottom. This one's taking quite a bit of effort to get an easy cut. Let me my last one again. And see, it's actually squishing fruit before it, well, it is a fruit, before it even starts cutting. Actually, at this point, it's not even cutting at all. So, yeah, see. So I'm going to leave that. Pepper. So let me do that before I rinse it off. This is surprising to me. I did not think it could do this. I thought I would have to take the Clever Cutter apart and use only the knife portion. But I can actually cut a pepper quite easily. The way I usually cut a pepper, which is right around the seed. Pepper cut, seed core, side. And then you can start cutting. It is cutting the pepper again, which is a hard vegetable, quite easily. I am doing a little bit of the pulling to finish the cut. Alright, so now I'm going to cut a banana and an apple. So let's go ahead and not a problem here at all. Cutting really well. Okay. You do need a little bit of strength to cut through an apple. So it is cutting quite well on the apple. So I know when we cut the tomato with the product as a knife and cutting board, did not do well at all. But let's take a moment to test it out when it's just the knife. And it does quite well with that. So the knife feature alone works quite well. So is there a place for the cover cutter? In my home, because I do a lot of cooking and a lot of vegetable cutting and a lot of fruit cutting, I don't believe it would be a good fit. For someone like my mother, who is a senior citizen, lives in a small apartment, eats very small portions, it's a space saver, it cuts quite well, and is more than sufficient for what she needs. So out of a 5-star rating, I give the Clever Cutter a 3. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with all this. I'm going to have to whiz it up and put it in spaghetti sauce or something.
Sjeckanju i rezanju nikad kraja. Kakav nered, a i čišćenje je naporno. Predstavljamo višenamjenske makaze 2 u 1, nož i podloga za sječenje koje režu i sjeckaju hranu za par sekundi. Oštrica od neređujućeg čelika sječe kroz hranu brzo i lako. Za razliku od običnih makaza, tajna višenamjenskih makaza je ručka sa snažnom oprugom koja se automatski otvara za brže i lakše sjeckanje. Višenamjenske makaze sjeku do 10 puta brže od običnih podloga i noževa. Pogledajte razliku! Isjeckajte punu zdjelu salate za kratko vrijeme. Sa lakoćom narežite kobasicu i sir. Izrežite krompire za vaša omiljena jela. Isjeckajte luk tako brzo da neće biti suza. Za tren narežite kobasicu i paprike i uživajte u divnom obroku. Dovoljno su široke da mogu da režu hleb, a mogu čak i da sjeckaju jabuke. Dodajte sjeckano povrće u jaja za zdravi hranjiv doručak. Za ručak isjeckajte piletinu za klasičnu cezar salatu. Izrežite šniclu za tren i uživajte u brzoj ukusnoj večeri. Dodajte ukus vašem omiljenom jelu i začinite ga svježim biljem. Spremanje supe traje vječnost. Sada sjeckajte povrće direktno u šerpu za ukusnu supu. To je jedino sječivo koje će vam ikad trebati za laku pripremu svih ovih jela. Sječivo je tako oštro da se lakoćom reže klas kukuruza. Perjeve su u mašini i jednostavne za održavanje. Višenamjenske makaze imaju i sistem za zaključavanje radi lakšeg skladištenja. Sjeckanje hrane na staromodni način traje predugo i stvara nered. Za solidan kuhinjski nož platit ćete najmanje 20 eura, a za običnu podlogu još 10 eura. Ali znate šta? Sa višenamjenskim makazama dobijate i jedno i drugo za samo 19 eura i 90 centi. Sa ovim specijalnim inovativnim rješenjem možete sve da sječete i režete 10 puta brže. Uštedite vrijeme, prostor i novac. Pozovite odmah 020 41 00 01 i naručite ove fenomenalne višenamjenske makaze za samo 19 eura i 90 centi. Sa ovim inovativnim 2 u 1 sječivom možete da sjeckate i režete brzo kao nikada do sada. Pozovite odmah, posjetite naš sajt i prodavnice.